good thing about the Germans. It's...
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Pokemon Sword and Shield Ranked Wi-Fi Battles. In today's episode, I'm actually coming to you with a new team. We'll go just check it out real quick then. And yeah, I don't think there's much else I want to say, so I'm just going to quickly go over the entire team, and then I'll explain the whole gimmick of the team, although it should be relatively obvious. So we have here first Megara the Machamp, which is of course a GMax Machamp, you can see by the symbol there, with the Flame Orb. Unlike most Machamps, this is going to be a Guts Machamp. I'll explain why later again when I go through all of it individually, one by one. Max HP, max attack, with Cross Chop, Bullet Punch, Protect, and Knockoff. Then we have Inteleon holding the Scope Lens, with Sniper of course, max special attack, max speed, Dark Pulse, Protect, Snipe Shot, and Ice Beam. Then we have a Togekiss with Super Luck holding the Figgy Berry with max special attack, max HP actually, and the HP is there because it is a Yawn Follow Me Togekiss with Dazzling Gleam and Air Slash. Then we have Drapion with the Razor Claw, which is basically a Scope Lens, which is actually really cool that there's two items that do this, and again I'll go into more specifics in just a second. Again with the Sniper, max attack, max speed, Cross Poison, Taunt, Night Slash, and Fell Stinger. Then the Ferrothorn, Leftover Iron Barbs, max HP, max physical defense this time. Power, Whip, Protect, Leech Seed, and Gyro Ball. And lastly, we have Rotom Heat with the Citrus Berry. Citrus Berry, HP, Special Defense with, of course, Levitate. And then Volt Switch, Overheat, Helping Hand, and Will-O-Wisp. So as some of you might have already realized, this is in fact a critical hit team. And as I'm sure, by the way, the title says as well, this is a critical hit team. And I'm really hoping that this will actually work. I'm really not sure that it will. I haven't tried this team at all yet. But that's the idea behind GMax Machamp. So GMax Cheese Strike, I think it's called, gives your entire team the focus energy, or the entire side of your team, the focus energy buff, which increases your crit rate by 1 stage. And the way critical hits work in this game, I'll put it up on the screen actually during the video. But the way critical hits actually work in this game is stage 1, which is the base stage that every Pokemon has. There's a 4.25% chance of scoring a critical hit. 4.25. Then at stage 2, you get, I think it goes up to 12.5. Stage 3 is 50%, and then stage 4 and 5 are both 100%. And the stage 4 and 5 are honestly only a relic from Gen 3, I think. That stage 5 even exists. It's just because technically it's possible to get to it. But all you need to get is stage 4. So the idea behind this team is therefore you have this GMax Machamp, which again, because it's mainly GMax, I didn't want to give it no guard, as you know, typically all Machamps have no guard, but this one has guts to take advantage of its ability, because max moves can't miss anyways. And that's why I also gave a Cross Chop, because Cross Chop actually, although I'm going to miss it more often than not, I know with my luck, you can see their crits land more easily. Cross Chop does have a heightened crit chance, so it just plays into its whole gimmick well, although of course that'll be a stage 2 crit after the GMax move, not, you know, stage 3 or 4, so it's only going to be a 12.5%, oh no, sorry, right, so Cross Chop brings it to stage 2, and then I don't know which one people get offended by, so whichever. Cross Chop brings it to 2, and then the effect of GMax Cheese Strike brings it to 3, so actually no, never mind, it'll have a 50% chance to crit on this one, and 25% chance to crit on either of these after the Cheese Strike. You know, pretty standard moveset on this Machamp. The knockoff is there, mainly because Ghost types, and Bullet Punch is there because priority is really good to have. And Protect is always... Protect is good because of Guts, mainly. Primarily Guts, and that also allows us to have a Max Guard move in GMax form. But yeah, then the idea is you combine this with primarily Inteleon and Drapion, because they both have Sniper, right? So with the Scope Lens and their innate moves, such as Snipe Shot for Inteleon and Cross Poison and Night Slash for Drapion, these already have a natural 50% crit chance with Sniper. Sniper, of course, increasing the amount of damage that critical hits these Pokemon deal, or the amount of damage from crits from these Pokemon, there we go, from 150% to 225%. So that's really, you know, obviously quite good if we get those. And the baseline 50% chance is already really nice. But of course, with GMax Chi Strike, you get to increase to 100% without actually taking up a slot for Focus Energy, which we could do as well, technically, but we don't need to, you know? There's no need to. So all things considered, I think that works out. Then, of course, Dark Pulse and Ice Beam go from 12.5% naturally to 50% chance of a crit. Protect is there, of course, to enable the Chi Strike to go off turn 1, and then turn 2 you get to Snipe Shot things into oblivion. The Togekiss is here to take advantage of that Super Luck, which naturally gives all its moves a 12.5 chance to crit instead of the natural 4.25, right? So stage 2 crit. Again, I don't know which one people feel upset about, so I'm just going to do this. Stage 2 crit. Max HP, max special attack. To make it a little more on the bulky side of things, really there to support more than anything else. It doesn't get the same sniper boost that the others do, so it getting a crit is actually not that relevant. I could have given it, what's it called, Serene Grace for the Air Slash, but because I did want to go with Yon was originally Protect, but I think on this set, Yon actually makes more sense. So we're going to find out today. Again, I haven't tried this team yet. I think I've said that. Yeah, if I haven't, then I haven't actually tried this team yet, so who knows how it's going to turn out. But, yeah, and then Follow Me is just nice to, you know, for some shenanigans and whatnot. And otherwise pretty standard Togekiss. The Drapion, however, this guy I'm really interested about. You can see he has the Razor Claw, so you can actually have to... Oh, let me just say, the Figgy Berry on the Togekiss, I kind of wanted it to be a Babiri Berry. I think that's what it's called, the Steel-type resisting berry. But I don't actually have one in my game, so Figgy Berry it is. It'll work. But the Drapion and the Inteleon, because Razor Claw does the same thing as Scope Lens, it does in fact allow to have that effect twice, you know, so effectively. So, yeah, Sniper, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, whatever. Cross Poison and Night Slash are both stab, and both have a heightened crit chance, so that's really good. Taunt is there primarily to deal with Dusclopses, and just Trick Room in general. Drapion is really fast. It has base 90 speed, which you would not expect from it. Its best stat is actually its defense, surprisingly, which is like 110 or something, maybe 100. Its attack is not that great, though, so I'm really counting on the Sniper to, you know, balance that out. And then it does get Fell Stinger, which you see, which I could have sworn was base 20 or 30. So I wonder if they buffed it in either this generation or the previous one, but now it's but apparently it's base 50. And you can see there, if we do get, you know, something lives on 1 or whatever, you bring in Drapion, it's reasonably fast, it takes that thing out, and it gets +3 attack, and then your opponent kind of shits himself, because what did they do? So that's Drapion. Then Ferrothorn is just a Ferrothorn. It works, you can see this team actually works really, really well typing-wise. We don't have any glaring weakness, and Ferrothorn and Rotom Heat actually cover each other's weaknesses really well as well, because Rotom Heat, of course, being weak to rock and water. I'm pretty sure that's it. And Ferrothorn resists both, Ferrothorn being weak to fighting and primarily fire, Rotom covering fire, Togekiss covering fighting really well. So I really like this core. If we see our opponent has a primarily defensive or specially defensive team, then we can bring Ferrothorn or Rotom Heat individually. And also these guys just work really well in the current meta. So in terms of kind of tackling the new meta, this was my approach to it. This team wasn't going to do so well against all the rabbits and shit going around right now. Although Inteleon does really well against them, but the rest of these guys weren't necessarily going to love it. So I did bring these two just, again, for that little extra oomph in defense, you know? Although I do think I figured out how to break this new meta. So I will be bringing that video to you guys, hopefully anyways, before the DLC hits. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the whole team explained. Oh, actually no, there is one last thing I wanted to say. On the Rotom Heat, you can see the Rotom Heat actually has Helping Hand. Originally, this was going to be a Pain Split, because this is a specially defensive Rotom Heat, right? So it was going to be Pain Split, but it turns out it doesn't get Pain Split in this game, so feels bad. And Volt Switch is there instead of Thunderbolt, because Overheat, of course, lowers your special attack. I realize now I actually should have 8 Overheats, but I don't see myself ever going for 8 Overheats, so I'm not going to bother fixing that right now. So then, you know, Overheat something, Volt Switch out of there. Works out well. Anyways, yeah, without further ado, guys, I think that's about everything I wanted to say about this team. I really like this idea. I haven't seen anyone do this yet, so I'm really hoping this will work. Again, I don't know that it will, because sadly GMax Cheese Strike does retain the base 90 damage output from any fighting type move. Any max fighting type move, that is, which is just stupid in my opinion. I understand why they would do that for, you know, whatever it's called, Max Knuckle, the one that actually buffs your attack, but they should have fixed that for the Gmaxes. But whatever. Now, our ranking is going to be shit right now, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, look at that. Barely 8,000 rating. And that's because you can see our win-loss ratio is really shit right now as well. After the previous video, I just went on a spree of trying different things, and honestly even trying that team a bit more. That team did pretty well, but it just comes down to, like, if you lose one battle, you need to win 3 to compensate, because if you lose one battle, you lose more points than you gain by winning 2. So my rating went to shit while I was just trying to play around with the new meta, whatever, at this point. I tried a bunch of different things. I tried a rain team, I tried some older teams I had, that of course I didn't show you guys there. I can show you in just a second. Yeah, and that's point decay for you. Fuck point decay. Why is point decay a thing? But I'm not worried about our rating. That's not how... What? Oh, right, because I had to take... Hang on, I forgot about this. Let me just put the Togekiss back. There we go. I like having these in the same order as they are in the box, just because OCD. And you can see I tried this team with it, I tried this team, I tried these... I didn't actually try these guys at the bottom, but I just tried some other random combination of stuff that I had in the box. But anyways, this is the team. Crit team. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. I'm really hoping we can win 2 games today. Really not sure that we can. Again, have not tried this team at all yet, so anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen right now. So let's see. I'm going to stick to the Marnie music because I'm superstitious as shit, and I think that music actually helps my win rate, so... Let's see. Hopefully my rating's not too terrible for us to actually find a battle here. Oh, there we go. Let's see what 8,000 rating, 9,000 rating, that's fine. In fact, that's good, because we are 3,000 points behind here. Okay, Excadrill, Primarina, Mimikyu, I hate Dragapult. Yeah, Mimikyu, Dragapult, Tyranitar, Togekiss. So first things I see immediately is he has a very balanced team. He has 4 physical attackers and 2 special attackers, but his special attackers don't actually want to deal with my Ferrothorn anyways. So I definitely want to bring the Ferrothorn no matter what, but because he has that Dragapult and that Mimikyu, leading with the Machamp could actually be quite dangerous if he leads Dragapult Mimikyu. Although I do think I do lead Machamp anyways. I mean, if he leads with that Primarina, leading Machamp would actually be pretty bad as well. Let me think. Just based on the way this team looks, I could lead, like... I don't know what I'm doing with this team. I'm really now realizing how little I know what I'm doing with this team. Let me think. So I could lead... I don't think I can actually bring Machamp. He has too well... Yeah, he has too many things I don't want to deal with Machamp, so I'm actually just not going to use that strategy for this game. I'm going to lead Drapion, and I'm going to lead... I'm just going to lead Drapion, Inteleon, bring the Ferrothorn, and bring the Togekiss. I kind of feel like I should have led Ferrothorn, actually, thinking about it, but that Togekiss probably has Heat Wave, and that Dragapult could have, like, Flamethrower, so... I'd find it... Where's my remote? My TV's a little too loud. I'd find it hard to imagine that he would come to this new meta without any Fire-type moves, so... Mimikyu, Dragapult. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't lead with my, with what's-its-face. Definitely. Now, Drapion and Inteleon. I could taunt the Mimikyu. That is, of course, a possibility. I could also Dynamax and then attack the I mean, I feel like I should focus the Dragapult, probably. But I also kind of want to protect with my Inteleon. I don't know. I kind of feel like there's a Shadow Sneak coming into that Dragapult here. And the Dragapult can't really touch my Drapion. I'm just going to Night... I'm kind of worried about that. I'm really worried about that Mimikyu, honestly. I don't know what to do here. I could swap out this into Ferrothorn. Gonna do that. I'm gonna swap out the Inteleon. The Inteleon is, like, probably my best answer to that Dragapult. Like, I probably should... Well, I mean... Thing is, if he does Dynamax and then Shadow Sneak the Dragapult... Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see that coming. That's just really bad for me. Well, at least I didn't focus the... At least I didn't focus the Dragapult there. And he does Will-O-Wisp. I should have taunted the Mimikyu. I played this turn 1. Yeah, that's game. I'm pretty sure that's game turn 1. Okay, I'm playing this very, very poorly from the start, but I can come back. I can definitely come back. Should I think I mean, I think here I just Night Slash I don't know how this works. I don't know if crit goes through burn. I have a 50% chance to crit with the Night Slash, but he's never Phantom Forcing my Ferrothorn, right? He's always Phantom Forcing my Drapion. Sorry, my Drapion. He's always Phantom Forcing the Ferrothorn slot here. But he probably also wants to... Ah, fuck it, I'm just going to Nightshade, and then... I'm just going to pop the Mimikyu here. Phantom Force into Ferrothorn, I take no damage because I'm a Ferrothorn. This Ferrothorn is meant to be bulky and annoying. For sure. So Night Slash, I get a crit, I'm pretty sure that's a crit. Yeah, that was a crit. I'm not sure whether the burn... Oh, I should have, okay. So that tells me I should have actually focused the, Mimikyu taunts my Ferrothorn, that's fine. But that definitely says right there that I should 100% have Gyro Balled the Dragapult. I don't know why, I didn't expect him to have the weakness policy there, just given that... Like, cause if you have the weakness policy, why don't you just... Like, can your Mimikyu really not target it turn 1 if you have the weakness policy? That just seems like a weird play on his part, but okay. Now here I'm just going to taunt the Mimikyu, and... See, now I'm kind of in an awkward spot. I can taunt the Mimikyu, because he's probably going to try to burn my Ferrothorn, and I'm just going to do damage to the Mimikyu. Because I mean, I expect him to Phantom Force again. Now that he's at +2. That's really bad that he's at +2. I mean, my Ferrothorn can obviously take a hit here, but... That's fine, though. I mean, I'm taking damage on my Drapion, which isn't great, but that's fine. Now, I don't know, again, what the Mimikyu is going to do here. Wait, what? What the fuck? What item shakes off the taunt? I have never seen that before. Mimikyu goes down though, so it's kind of irrelevant. He missed the Will-O-Wisp, thankfully. What item shakes off the taunt? I didn't know that was a mechanic. I actually did not know in the slightest that that was a mechanic, so I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, interesting. But he didn't have a fire type, as I recall. I remember talking about that. Yeah, he definitely didn't have a fire type, so this should work for the most part. He brings in Togekiss, so here's the key thing. Drapion is actually faster than Togekiss. Drapion is in fact faster than Togekiss, so he has the Heat Wave, most likely, which is why he would bring that in. Whatever I bring in goes down is the problem. So I can protect and take the... Actually, I'm going to ignore the Togekiss for now, because I just want to take out the Dragapult. So what I'm actually going to do, I could Fell Stinger it, but I'm not sure that will kill, so I'm just going to Night Slash and protect. Because if you go... Oh no, sorry, I'm taunted. Right, of course I'm taunted. I don't think this will kill, but I'm going to try to... I'm going to throw away my Togekiss here. Because my Ferrothorn can deal with his Dragapult, and like, this is probably going into Togekiss slot here, and then the Oh! Never mind. Yeah, I don't think Heat Wave would have killed my Ferrothorn there. So, Cross Poison into the Togekiss didn't crit, so that doesn't do that much damage. But still does an okay amount of damage. Heat Wave into both. Drapion goes down, that's whatever though. Crit on Drapion. Crit on Togekiss, so he is in fact Sculpt Lens crit machine. I hate that Pokemon. I really, really hate that Pokemon. I don't understand why you would go for Phantom Force on that thing though, but okay. Here I can go for Inteleon. And by going for Inteleon, I can effectively take out the Togekiss no matter what he really does here, just with the Ice Beam. I still haven't Dynamax as well. I just realized this. Should I Dynamax my Inteleon? I mean, there's no real reason to, right? But I also don't want to Dynamax my Ferrothorn, do I? Depends on what he might have in the back. So let's see. He could have Primarina, Excadrill, or Tyranitar in the back. Any of those cases, Dynamaxing my Ferrothorn is always fine. So I will actually save my Dynamax for that. So I'm just going to Ice Beam the Togekiss, and... his Togekiss is probably faster than my Togekiss, but I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam. Because I don't think there's any reason... Yeah, he's just going to Phantom Force. There's no reason to follow me this turn. The Togekiss should just go down to the Ice Beam. Like, I don't see it living. And if it does, okay, it does live because I didn't get the crit, but that's fine. He goes for Dazzling Gleam. There's an okay chunk of damage to both Pokemon here. Gets a crit on both fucking Pokemon again, but whatever. Dazzling Gleam misses a Dragapult, obviously, but it does take out the Togekiss? It does. Yeah, I max special attack. I had to take out the Togekiss there. Oh god, I choked on water. Ah, that was unpleasant. But anyways, okay, so it is Primarina. The last Pokemon is in fact Primarina. So Ferrothorn does just win this here. So I'm just going to... I could Ice Beam. I could also Dark Pulse. But I'm going to Ice Beam, so he thinks maybe I'm locked into something there. And I'm just going to follow me. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Follow me and Ice Beam. So follow me. What did he Dynamax? He hasn't Dynamaxed anything. Why didn't he Dynamax the Primarina there? I'm confused. But yeah, that forces the Togekiss to... Well, that makes the Togekiss go down, but that's whatever. So now Ice Beam takes out the... Ice Beam takes out the Dragapult, yeah, and then Ferrothorn comes in, and I mean, I can't imagine that it doesn't just clean up, especially in Dynamax mode. He goes for Moonblast. I don't like not knowing items. I'm very used to Frisk, just telling me what items he has, so... Worst case scenario, let's see, no Life Orb. There is no... Primarina doesn't get Mystical Fire, right? I'm pretty sure it doesn't, so... Ferrothorn should... I'm tempted to actually take a turn. I'm just gonna Protect. If he Dynamaxes, goes for... I'm tempted to go for Leech Seed, is what I'm thinking. But I feel like he hasn't Dynamaxed yet, so he's always going to Dynamax the Primarina here. So I'm just going to Dynamax as well to... Oh no! No, I did Dynamax Candy. I was gonna say I didn't Dynamax Candy my Pokemon, but I did. Yeah, he always Dynamaxes his Primarina, so if I'd gone for Protect, I would have actually taken damage anyways, and wouldn't have been worthwhile. But again, I find it very... I mean, it's possible that I still lose this here, but I suspect I should be in a pretty good shape. Notice, by the way, how good Drapion is. Drapion was super effective on every single Pokemon he had except the Mimikyu. Still, what item keeps you from being taunted? I didn't even know that item existed. If anyone knows, please leave it in the comments. I'm quite curious at this point. But yeah, I could have gone for a Leech Seed, but I didn't want to take a max move just because. There was no real reason to. So, okay, I am Dynamax Candy, that's good. Now, let's see what he does. He Geysers. Why would he Geyser? So that tells me he doesn't have Ice Beam. That does no damage, yep. And then Overgrowth is going to do... I suspect like 40%. It's not a physically invested Ferrothorn, of course, or at least not offensively invested Ferrothorn, so it shouldn't do that much damage, but I take it back. Ferrothorn's a monster. Ferrothorn is a fucking beast. Holy shit. Alright. Alright, well that's game. Ferrothorn takes it out, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, between Ferrothorn and Rotom, I've got such a nice defensive core there that the crits can take care of his Pokemon most of the time, and then the Ferrothorn and the Rotom finish off by just being stally and annoying and not dying. So he could have a max guard just to stall out another turn, but I suspect he just concedes here, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's awesome. Crit team wins game number 1. That's actually really fucking hype. That's really, really hype. Okay. Congratulations on winning in the highest rank to commemorate. Oh! Why had I never gotten that before? That's weird. That's very weird. Okay, so now all my Pokemon are rank masters, apparently, which is something I'd always wonder how people got. See, look at that! How did I just beat a guy 3,000 points above me and I barely got 1,000 points for that win? This is why I've given up on the rating and the standing and all that nonsense. Not worth my time. I have way too much other shit to do. Like today I still have to record Monster Hunter and Subnautica. I need to record the end of Subnautica because we will be finishing that in the next 3 episodes, I believe. 2 to 3. No, sorry, 3 to 4 even. It'll definitely take at least 3 episodes, I think. But we're very close to the end of that game, and I need to finish recording that, and then I've got the intro going on. I've got the phylogeny videos, which I keep mentioning, and I'll be actually making a video explaining phylogenies and evolutionary trees and all that very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Script is nearly ready. I don't usually obviously script these videos, but these ones specifically, this one anyway specifically, I will be scripting because it really is just that important for that one. Because it's a scientific video. I want to be accurate in what I'm saying. All right, but Crit Team takes the first game down, and yeah, I'm glad I swapped out the Ferrothorn when I did because the only way he was beating me there was Rafa. I have a friend called Rafa. Okay, so this is a Sun team, right off the bat. I can see it's a Sun team. Okay, so aside from that fish thing, nothing wants to deal with my Rotom Heat, but I can't really bring my Ferrothorn, sadly, which would be really good against the fish thing. Now, because this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. That Venusaur is going to make this really tough. So here I can basically lead with... If he leads with that Charizard, which I honestly don't see a reason for him not to, I'm in trouble. I don't have any Rock-type moves on my team, and I literally, while making this team, I was perfectly aware of the fact that just Sun teams destroyed me, but I hadn't seen any Sun teams in a very long time, so I had just kind of disregarded that. Drapion doesn't do that well against that Lucario, or most of his team for that matter. Inteleon obviously does, but here what I think I have to do is lead Machamp and Inteleon. And then I bring the Rotom always, and then I bring the Togekiss, probably. But this is going to be really, really tough. Because I do not outspeed a Venusaur in the rain in the sun with anything on my team. So I'm predicting he leads... Either he leads with the Ninetales, or he brings the Ninetales in the back and swaps into it turn 1. Yeah, Venusaur Ninetales. Okay, at least he didn't lead with the... At least he didn't lead with the Charizard, though. Now... Immediately, I'm in kind of a rough spot here, though. Because Inteleon does not want to be out here against this Venusaur. At all. And I don't know what the Venusaur is going to do. Yeah, that Venusaur is a problem. But both of his Pokemon are special attackers, so the Rotom is really good here. What I actually think I'd do is just protect with the Machamp and swap out the Inteleon into the Rotom. Hopefully he doesn't go for Sleep Powder on my Rotom, but I feel like that's an inevitability. Like, if that doesn't happen this turn, it'll happen the next turn. So, I don't really see us winning this game, though. Machamp protects. Let's see. Giga Drain into Rotom, yeah, that's fine. That does nothing. Yep, and that's why I really wanted this Rotom, because Grass types are a huge problem for this team. Well, no, not a huge problem, because I do have that Drapion, but... Okay, Rotom took very little damage this turn, which is good. I get burned by my Flame Orb, which is also fine. Now, this turn, I have two options. Either I Darkness onto that Venusaur, or I Cheese Strike into the Ninetales. Now, I don't know what I actually want to do, because I could also knock off that Venusaur. But I do believe that the bigger threat here is probably the Venusaur, although I have to ignore it, sadly. And I'm just going to Cheese Strike and then overheat the Venusaur. Hopefully he doesn't swap out, although I suspect he probably does swap out the Venusaur here. Withdrew the Ninetales. Did he have any ghost types? I don't think he did. Into Dracovish. Okay, the Dracovish does not want to take this hit here. I found out recently, by the way, that Dracovish is in Ubers somehow. What? How is Dracovish in Ubers? In singles, but still. On Showdown, of course. Ugh. Alright. I am, of course, wasting this Cheese Strike because giving my Rotom a critical hit rate is not very relevant. But this is more about doing damage than anything else. Earth Power. Why would you Earth Power a Rotom? Excuse me? Overheat, lands, the Venusaur goes down. Okay, I'm very confused as to everything that just happened, but we should be able to win the game from here. I didn't see this guy's rating, by the way. So maybe that's just what happened? I'm like, the game told him it was a super effective hit, so he just went with it instead of knowing that. And the Dracovish nearly dies. Presumably this will be a Scarfed Dracovish, right? But kind of, honestly, I'm kind of wishing I hadn't Dynamax now. Or, yeah, because now I can't Bullet Punch the Dracovish. But I just didn't expect that turn to go the way it did at all. At all. And now that his Venusaur is down, yeah, there's the Charizard. I was gonna say I don't really need this Rotom, but I actually definitely do because of that Charizard, so I can't obviously swap out my Machamp, or I don't want to anyways. But I'm not in a good position at all. Machamp should live one from that Charizard, one move from that Charizard, but he's obviously just G-maxing it here. I mean, I'm gonna max guard because he's gonna Airstream into my Machamp slot. But I'm going to try to, if that's not a Scarf Dracovish, and if that's not a speed-invested Dracovish, I might outspeed it with the Rotom. But I don't really have a choice but to go for the Volt Switch here, because I can't afford anything really in the back taking this damage. If I can get a Max Darkness onto the Charizard next turn by sacrificing my Togekiss, best case scenario here, he focuses my Machamp. Best case scenario right here, he focuses my Machamp. Let's see. Machamp max guards. Oh my god, I actually really like the way that this Machamp looks. It just looks so fucking cool. And then Dracovish goes for Vicious Rend into the Rotom. I'm not sure the Rotom can live. Jesus Christ, really? Not even in the sun? That's upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, that's really upsetting. Yeah, that's a problem. So here I have to go for the... I'm not sure Machamp can live an Airstream, that's the thing. But I don't think Machamp can OHKO the Charizard anyways. Next turn I can Bullet Punch something. Inteleon can clean up after the Dynamax turns are over. Theoretically. If I take out a Pokemon this next turn, I'm gonna go to Togekiss, I think. If I can take out a Pokemon this next turn, then he won't have the Sun for the final part of this game. So I'm actually going to ignore the Charizard and go for Darkness into Dracovish to lower that Charizard's special defense, and I'm just going to follow me. Because then the Ninetales comes in, I can double protect, and then my Inteleon should be... Oh, okay, or he just does this, which makes sense. But the Ninetales might just go down, actually. So let's see what happens. He was expecting me to be trying to take out the Dracovish then, which I suppose makes sense. Airstream goes out. This shouldn't kill. It's a max HP Togekiss. Okay, I was about to say it shouldn't kill, right? Let me think. If I'm not mistaken, Ninetales and Charizard are both base 100 speed. Oh yeah, I get the Figgy Berry boost here. Or the health back. Really? Okay, well now we know that's how that works. I didn't actually know that's how that works. So basically, I used a candy to... Oh my god, seriously. Ninetales lives on 1. That's terrible for me. That's really, really bad. Is it Focus Sash? It's not even Focus Sash, it just actually lived on one. Okay, so basically the reason my Togekiss got confused, which is actually terrible, is because now it might hit itself. If it hits itself here, but then it's my fault, but whatever. It's because I used the candy, so its natural nature is not an attack-lowering nature. So the Figgy Berry does not work. Okay, it didn't hit itself. Okay, it not hitting itself here is really important, because now I get to Bullet Punch the... Ninetales in exchange for my... in exchange for my Togekiss, which I think is fine. That's really why the Togekiss is here, more so than for doing damage, is for taking these hits. He does correctly go for Wildfire, which I don't really think it matters. I think this should also be the last turn of Sun, if I'm not mistaken. And that, oh, he's Life Orbed. I didn't notice that somehow. Yeah, it's the last turn of Sun, so now my Snipe Shot will be doing maximum damage, and I believe that's the last turn of his GMax as well. I don't really see a universe in which the Bullet Punch from the Machamp here, whether it's resisted or not, doesn't take out the Dracovish, and my Inteleon is faster than the Charizard. So let's see. So now that this is now that we're in this position, I think I can actually win from here. That's insane. That's insane. We're actually going to win 2 games today. So I can Bullet Punch the Dracovish, which I fear might be Scarfed. But if he would have to protect here for this Bullet Punch not to take it out, and then I can actually Snipe Shot the Charizard, and that will take out the Charizard as well. So Bullet Punch into the Dracovish. Dracovish goes down. You're kidding me, it didn't die. But it's not Scarfed, otherwise it would have outsped the Charizard. How did the Dracovish not actually die to that? I don't know why the Charizard didn't just go for an Air Slash either. The Charizard has to die to this. Okay, well... And that was a crit, so yeah, that was one of those 50% that really didn't matter, but... Vicious Rend into my Machamp. Machamp goes down, that doesn't matter. So that has to be banded, right? That's why my Rotom went down. Because that's the only way my Machamp goes down there as well. Because my Machamp went first, so that has to be a banded Dracovish, is what that says to me. So I'm just going to Dark Pulse it up. Dark Pulse can't miss. Neither can Snipe Shot or Ice Beam, but why not use Dark Pulse? And that's game! We actually took down a Sun team! This team is being really fucking good so far, holy shit! I did not expect this to be going like this way. At all. Sorry, I just keep having to check. When you see my arm do this and me getting closer, I have to check if my microphone is actually recording. Because it's not as obvious as sadly it should be. But okay, that was game. Wow. Just absolutely wow. I am very, very surprised. Okay, sure, we got an Iron. Alright, one more, why not? I do suspect we'll probably lose this one, but wow, we beat a guy with a really standard, really meta team. Although we haven't seen any Rabbits or Rillaboom so far, but of course, them existing is what transforms the meta. The meta, basically the reason my other teams stopped really working as well is because the meta became about one-shotting things. It became about being faster and about OHKOing, because that's what you need to deal with the Rabbit. That's why Inteleon does deal with the Rabbit, because the Inteleon is 1 point of speed faster than the Rabbit, and it can, of course, one-shot it with Snipe Shot. But because of that, then my team stopped working, because my team needed to live through that first turn, get up the Trick Room, and then it was set. But it didn't need to live through that first turn. So it's just a meta change, whatever. And here we go, battle number 3. Oh, that guy's raiding. Okay, interesting. Well, what is he bringing to the table? Another Sun team with the monkey, Rillaboom. Alright, well, let's see what he has. So, like we determined in the previous battle, that Venusaur is a huge problem for me. But, let me think. So, he doesn't really have anything that wants to deal with my Rotom, aside from that Excadrill, which could be Mold Breaker. But he also doesn't have anything at all for my Ferrothorn, aside from that Togekiss, which presumably will have Heat Wave, and of course the Torkoal. Now, this is a game where I could bring the Drapion, actually. It's also a game where I might not bring the Togekiss. And bringing Machamp would be tough here. He has 2 Fairy types, a Poison type. Let me think. I could open What I'm kind of tempted to right now is Inteleon Drapion leads. Inteleon Drapion leads kind of works, but it also kind of really doesn't. But I don't feel like I should bring Machamp this game, so I'm going to try this. I'm going to bring both my defensive Pokemon here. Because his is a very bizarre team, but the fact that he has the Grassy Surge there, his team is very good, might I add, but the fact that he has the Grassy Surge there means that my Ferrothorn will get that extra residual as well, and so will Drapion, and so will Inteleon, although that's of course not something I should base myself on. Kind of regretting not bringing Machamp because of that Excadrill, but Excadrill Whimsicott is fine. It's absolutely fine, lead-wise. Now we'll see if the Excadrill does have Mold Breaker, which it does. So that creates some issues with my, what's-his-face in the back. But here I can just Snipe Shot the Excadrill, and I could honestly taunt the Whimsicott. But I could also just Cross-Poison the Whimsicott and Oko it. And actually, if that leaves the Whimsicott on red, then I can Fell Stinger it, so... Oh, no, of course. Well, my, that's a dead Drapion. This? No. That's a dead Drapion. That was my bad. That was my bad entirely. The thing is, though, now, doesn't really have anything for my Rotom Wash, or Rotom Heat, because the Drapion does just go down, the Excadrill, rather. Yeah. Unless, is that Focus Sash? I can't tell. It is. Okay, I'm in trouble. I'm in serious trouble right now. Okay, so he here, I think, will always try to go after my Inteleon, so I'm going to protect the Inteleon and just... I played that turn 1 very poorly. I didn't think about Tailwind in the slightest. Fucking, I hate Whimsicott. It does too many things. You saw me there, I'm just trying to kill the Excadrill, and Inteleon protects. I'm assuming the Whimsicott will probably, like, taunt my... Yeah, taunting my thing, and then... Of course, the Excadrill went for high horsepower onto Inteleon, which is fine. The reason I haven't Dynamaxed yet, by the way, either, is because... Or also, rather, is because... That Whimsicott could be carrying Switcheroo, what's-his-face as well. Ah, that was really unfortunate turn 1. I did not like losing the Drapion like that there. At all. I have considered running Scarf Drapion, although in this particular scenario it wouldn't actually have helped that much. Yeah, he does have the Venusaur. But him having the Venusaur is actually kind of pointless. I'm just going to go back to Rotom like I did in the last time we found one of these. I'm just going to Gyro Ball that Whimsicott, blast it into the next dimension. He could swap out to something that resists the Gyro Ball here, like that Torkoal, which would actually be really bad for me. But if he does, then he does, and so be it, pretty much. Because, whatever, like, I can't really do anything about that. The Whimsicott is not an issue here, at all, so... Like, if I lose this game, it won't be to that Whimsicott. He is Dynamaxing the Venusaur, but the Venusaur can't really touch my... Really can't touch my Ferrothorn, so... He doesn't have the sun up, so that leads me to believe he might have not brought the sun. By the way, if that game I'd led, if I'd led Inteleon, that was a perfect game to lead Inteleon, what's-his-face, as well. He really wanted to kill my Inteleon there. Inteleon Machamp. He's going for the Max Ooze, fair enough. That is actually a problem because, I mean, I have the Citrus Berry on this Rotom, so the Rotom does not go down. But that is a problem because it's raising his special attack. He's Life Orb Venusaur, okay. But you saw how bulky Rotom is, right? That was a Life Orb Venusaur. It barely did anything with Max Ooze. Although, of course, Max Ooze does have less damage associated with it. But still, the Whimsicott can never... Yeah, Whimsicott goes down. Realistically, I should have probably left the Whimsicott up. Because, what is his last Pokemon? If it's Torkoal, it's actually really good for me. Not really good, because it's Rillaboom. Okay, Rillaboom cannot touch my... See, this is a slight issue. This is a slight issue, because... Let me think. I think that Rillaboom, if he's invested in speed, will be faster. This is the last turn of Tailwind, then. Okay, if it's the last turn of Tailwind, I'm actually okay. I'm just going to... I could Will-O-Wisp the Rillaboom. But I think I can kill the Rillaboom with my Inteleon, so between Inteleon and Ferrothorn. So I'm just going to try to take out this Venusaur here with Overheat. I could have Helping Hand. Oh, of course, Fake Out. Oh, that's fine though. I don't understand why you would ever fake out the Ferrothorn there. At all. At all. Like, Ooze is not gonna kill. Right? It can't kill, not after that Citrus Spray. Yeah, exactly. Ooze is not gonna kill. So, this being his last turn of Tailwind, then I get to just Ice Beam this thing to death, provided that I do land my Overheat here, which I do. Okay, so yeah. It's a shame that he did fake out my Ferrothorn, but I really don't understand why he wouldn't always just fake out my Rotom. I really don't, honestly, so... He has 2 Grass types, so of course my Leech Seed is pointless here. Let me think. I could just Helping Hand. I'm assuming the Rotom's gonna die here. And I can always... This is his last turn of Dynamax on the Venusaur, so I'm just gonna Helping Hand and... I'm thinking, is it better to just take out the Venusaur here? Or do damage to the Rillaboom? It's probably better to just take out the Venusaur here. Unless he max guards, but I don't see why he would. So I'm just gonna Helping Hand with the Rotom. I'm glad I didn't do this last turn because of the fake out, but... Oh, he does max guard with the Venusaur. That's pretty irrelevant, all things considered, but I should have attacked the... I definitely should have attacked the Rillaboom then. Oh well. Again, don't really think it'll matter. All things considered, I mean, of course my Inteleon just goes down next turn, but so does his Venusaur. And I still haven't Dynamaxed anything, have I? So I can actually Dynamax my Ferrothorn this turn. Because his Venusaur did just Protect, so he's probably not going to be able to Protect with it again. No matter what, I think I do double up into the Venusaur slot, just in case that he does get the Protect off. So I'm going to Ice Beam the Venusaur, and then Dynamax Steel Spike onto the Rillaboom. Oh, damn it, I just said I should focus the Venusaur slot. What am I doing? What am I actually fucking doing? Oh, god damn it. Oh, I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. It really could. But if it's Rillaboom against Ferrothorn, he can't win. Because that's Ferrothorn for you. That's why I picked Ferrothorn for this team. So... Again, there's no way the Venusaur survives the Ice Beam here. But I really should have doubled into that slot, just in case... Well, no, because if he gets a double Protect, then what would be the point of doubling into that slot? No, never mind. So he's obviously going for Protect here, right? No, he doesn't. Okay, Ice Beam, Venusaur goes down. Yeah, and then... Okay, perfect, that's game. I really don't see a way out for him. No, I just don't. Not in any way. So yeah, Woodhammer, Inteleon gets annihilated, because... Yeah, Inteleon does not take hits well. But that's fine. Rillaboom takes the recoil, and now Steel Spike into the Rillaboom. I get that nice defense boost, and now I have a ridiculous amount of health. Again, he's physical, so there's no way for him to take out my Ferrothorn at this point. I'm assuming he was probably going for Earth Power onto my Ferrothorn slot that turn, with the Venusaur, or maybe even Giga Drain. But I don't see why you would go for Giga Drain and Woodhammer. Like, Giga Drain obviously into my Inteleon slot, but I don't see why you would go for both of those. Battle is cancelled! We just went 3-0! What the hell? Yes! We just went 3-0. Okay. Okay, I'm very happy. This team actually works. I'm very surprised that this team actually works, but I'm very happy that this team actually works. So, of course our rating was terrible, and that was definitely a constituent part in us going 3-0. But I don't care at this point. In my experience playing through this, there's actually very little difference between top... Anything after 2000 rating, basically, is all pretty much the same. But yeah, like, how do we only have... I mean, I guess that guy was at a pretty shitty rating. But alright, guys, that was the Crit team. I will probably be bringing this back for one more episode after this, before I do bring you guys the meta-breaking team. But who knows, maybe this is the meta-breaking team. Maybe just Ferrothorn and Rotom Heat together are the meta-breaking team. Could be, right? Could be. It seems to be working out just fucking great. I'm super happy with how this went. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join us for the next one.